Now today I'll be showing how to replace a timing belt cover. Here's the brand new cover. They're inexpensive, 35, 40 bucks off Amazon. That's a factory part. This is a 2010 Subaru with 150,000 miles. And here's the cover. So we need to get clear access, move everything out of the way to get access to this. What happens over time due to wear and tear, heat, so on and so forth. Also where the fasteners meet the plastic cover, you may find some hairline cracks, and really you should replace it because you don't want any debris inside the timing belt because there are also bearings. So even if water is getting in there, you don't want those bearings to seize up on you, then the engine is destroyed. Okay, so very quickly, let me put down the camera. We're going to clean everything up and we'll knock this out. Now the first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the negative terminal to the battery. That's just a safety precaution. You have a lot of sensors on modern vehicles. You don't want to trip anything. Now this is just some PB Blaster. You can also use WD-40. And everything you see here today regarding tools, I'll have a link in the description box below to our Amazon affiliate site. Now your goal here is to get clear access to the plastic cover. So I have this cover right here, and these are just plastic tabs really. They have a special tool, that will actually remove these, but you really don't need it if you're careful. If you ever break these, you can purchase spare clips on Amazon. There are plenty of aftermarket clips you can purchase that will fit the factory. Placement. Now regarding the radiator hoses, most likely you can leave these intact. In my case, I'm going to remove them for two reasons. Number one, it gives you a better view. Let me move the camera. It gives you a better view when I do the film here to see what's going on. But the second reason, this being a non-turbo Subaru with 150,000 miles, you might have guessed that this just started leaking at the head gasket. So really, I need to do a major repair here, and I might as well start that process by removing the hoses here. But nonetheless, you can most likely keep these intact and remove the drive belts that we'll do in a moment. And always good practice just to place these pins back where they were so you don't lose them. Okay, so first remove the cap. This will make draining the fluid quicker. Now draining the fluid is easy enough. Now very quickly, if you're looking to do this ASAP, you can just simply pull off the lower radiator hose. Right there, just pull it off and just have the fluid go everywhere. It makes a mess, but if you're looking to save time, that works. I just like to keep everything, I'm sort of a neat freak. I like everything to be nice and neat. So, there's a drain. Let me see if I get the camera to see it. Right, where is it? Right there. Okay, Phillips size. So just like this, just slowly back it out. Let me just grab the drain pan here. And once it's loose enough, you can back it out there you go, with your hands and just let that drain. And as that drains, you can just continue with the work. Remove the upper radiator hose. And if these hoses, the upper and the lower, if they're quite old, good time to replace them as well. These are maybe, I don't know, 2 years old, 2.5. When I did the timing belt is when I replaced these hoses, and they're still in okay shape. Now again, this is a 2010 Impreza, and on this specific vehicle they use a stretch type belt for the AC compressor. In other words, it's not adjustable. It can only be removed if you cut it off, meaning you have to purchase a brand new belt, and it's just a dumb design. I hate it. Not every Subaru is like this. For example, we recently did some work on a Forester, 2011 Forester, and on that Forester, which has the same engine pretty much, it's adjustable. You can adjust the tension. This you have to cut off. Don't have a choice. It's such a stupid design. And you need a special tool to reinstall it, and I have a separate video showing that. It just frustrates me. It's just a waste. It's just a complete waste that you have to cut these off. And then I have a couple of fasteners. There's a 12mm right here. There's another one over here near the alternator. And sometimes these can be very, very stubborn. If you ever come across a fastener that's really, really tough, all that you do, very simply, let me move the camera so you can see this. Hold on. what you could do is, oops, hold on, there we go, sorry about that. All that I have here is a 19mm socket. Place it over the end of the ratchet, and then I have an extension. Okay, so in other words, this is just it's allowing me a longer handle to remove any stubborn fastener. Use, if you're familiar with my videos, I always use basic hand tools. And a lot of times, that's all you need to do the job. Now, very quickly, as you can see, this is not a serpentine belt system. In other words, there isn't one belt that drives all of the accessories, the AC compressor, the alternator, power steering pump, so on and so forth. Now, if your vehicle does have that, I'll include a separate link in the description box below showing you on how you can really remove that type of belt, and that can give you a pretty good idea if you're stuck on how to remove the belt on your vehicle. That can show you most likely on how to remove it. Again, check out that link in the description box below. Okay, so we're almost there. Now the hardest part really is removing the crankshaft pulley. Okay, that's this guy right here. And it's a 22mm fastener holding on the pulley to the engine. Very, very tight. In other words, the torque, if I remember correctly, this is torqued to 120, 130 foot-pounds. In other words, if you try to use a very large ratchet and remove this fastener, it's just going to rotate the engine, and you don't want to do that. That's number one. Number two is there's not a lot of room here for an air gun or an impact gun. You can remove the radiator shrouds. This is actually the radiator motors, I should say, the cooling motor. But still, it's a tight fit. But what's going to work is, again, I have a 22mm fastener, a socket. I'm going to use a 1/2-inch drive. Let me show you a breaker bar, an absolute must-have. If you plan on doing your own auto repair, it's like 15 bucks, and it just comes in handy numerous times. Okay, something like this. And then I'm going to use a piece of pipe over the end of the breaker bar. And my plan is, I'm going to have the pipe touching the concrete floor and very quickly just turn the engine. I have to reconnect the battery here, but just quickly crank the engine, not start the vehicle, just crank it 1/2 second, and that's going to loosen up this fastener. The other thing is, this is my damage right here. Again, I believe it was, actually I think it was this, I think it was the breaker bar, and it just slipped and bam, it just created a hole. I had a piece of duct tape over it, but out of due diligence, I probably should replace the bearings underneath this. But let's first go ahead and remove this pulley. So once again, what I have here is a breaker bar. If you're curious on the length, it's roughly 19 inches in length. Okay, so breaker bar, 1/2 inch, and then a piece of pipe. This is from Home Depot. I purchased many years ago. Curious on the size, 1 inch. So the diameter is 1 inch by 24 inches, so 2 feet. And this will do the job. Now in my case, the breaker bar is striking the cooling fan, the housing here. So I need to remove this. So I can remove this, this pulley here. So I need to first remove the overflow bottle. Right here there's a clip. I'm just pressing in the clip. Remove this from the radiator. This comes. There we go. Okay. And then there's 2 fasteners on top. Just spraying some PB Blaster again. Just broke that plastic piece. Here's the typical Subaru quality. Well, here in the Northeast, these cars just get pounded, absolutely pounded. And just as you can see, just rust. Okay, this should come right up. I'm gonna hang on something here. There we go. Okay. So here we go, set everything up. I have the battery connected again. Okay, again, quick start of the key. Be careful if you're doing this, by the way. This is really a last resort to get this off. Okay, let's check it out. Here we go, moment of truth. And yep, nice and loose. Okay, perfect. Let me just move the camera in a moment. Now there is a special tool, by the way, that they do make. It's around 60 bucks. That you don't have to go crazy doing this. But, whoops, there we go. Okay. And actually you can learn from my mistake there. What you should use is something like a moving blanket just to protect. This is the AC condenser. So I made a little bit of a mark in the condenser here, but that was stupid. I moved a little too quickly there, but that's all right. Okay, so now I have a number of 10mm fasteners. Let's go ahead and remove them, and that's it. We'll be all done. Now you may come across some fasteners, again, Northeast, Midwest, you live in a winter climate, and the fasteners are just so beat up that you can't even, there's so much rust, you can't even secure a socket over. So number one, just clean it off with a wire brush. Okay, and then, let me zoom out, just grab yourself something like a rubber mallet. Place it over the fastener and just tap it in. A little hard sometimes, but there we go. Okay, so now it's nice and tight on there. Again, Subarus, you have to be really careful with the fastener sometimes. Same with the valve cover. The fasteners around the valve cover gasket, or the valve cover I should say. But there we go. They're just not, it's too soft, the metal. And you can really very easily strip these out. So just take your time, clean them off, tap them on with a mallet, and there you go. Now this timing cover really is two pieces, the main piece, and then there's a smaller piece to check the timing belt. There we go. And then we're down to the last fastener here. Okay. This should pop off. Okay. And that is how you replace a timing belt cover. Now again, if you want to follow this series in a sense, I'm going to pull this engine quite soon. I'll show on how to do that on the Subaru. I don't think there's really a lot of videos out there showing how to do that. We'll pull the engine, replace the head gaskets, touchscreen radio, new speakers, carpet. So we'll have some fun stuff to do with this car. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.